Not even putting not even putting on the starting screen right now. I have no patience to sit here right now and wait. I'm so disgusted right now with what I just watched. Disgusted. And not only did they ruin the fact that my teams were about to go 3 for 3 for a night. I shouldn't say about to. The Rangers didn't have a chance this game. What they ruined what could have been a 3 for 3 night. They left the worst taste in my mouth possible when this is the worst possible time for this to happen. So the Rangers will lose if you couldn't tell. They lost 4-1 to the Philadelphia Flyers in game 80 of the regular season here. And I don't know where to even begin with this other than I'm just beyond fed up with this crap that I've been talking about ad nauseum all season long, and people told me to wait and to save the anger back in December. It's only one game. Just wait. January. Oh, just wait. February. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Basically flawless in February. Look at that. March, the gauntlet. Oh, look at that. Trouba's out of the lineup and the team's playing good defense. Wonder if there's a correlation. Trouba returns and all of a sudden the defense looks like complete dog shit. You think there's a correlation there? Maybe? Like, do you maybe think there's a correlation here? Because to me, it's what a coincidence this is then, right? Like, if you think otherwise, what a coincidence it is that this team has looked far worse defensively when Trouba has came back than before. I'm genuinely shocked. Wow, what a coincidence this is, right? Isn't it? Keandre Miller doesn't get off the hook either, though. Keandre Miller played terrible. He was terrible tonight. Scoring on his own net with a deflection. Freaking blowing out a tire on one of the goals. Taking a dumb penalty. You have Adam Fox on the last goal just throwing his arms up after giving the puck away. How about you move your damn feet, Adam? How about you move your fucking feet? And this is what has drove me up the walls. And this is where my anger comes in. Because all season long, I've been saying the only thing getting in their way is themselves. And the fact that you're facing a team 0-8 heading into the matchup. I do not want to hear that Philly was playing desperate, because why weren't they playing desperate the last game against Montreal? Why weren't they playing desperate the game before? I think after losing 2 or 3 games in a row, desperation should kick in for that club and they should have won a game by now. No, I don't want to hear anything about Philly being desperate, needing the points. Stop it. Because do the Rangers not want to win the division anymore? Is that what this is? All right. Go ahead. Go ahead and lose to the Islanders on Saturday. Give them momentum, and then that's who you're going to play round 1, and let's see how that goes. Go ahead. Just check out of the regular season then. Why don't you? Losing to a team that has lost 8 in a row. All right. Fine by me, right? Because where's the killer instinct? And that's what worries me. Because we saw it 2 years ago against Tampa where they go up 2-0 and they don't put it away. We saw it last year against New Jersey. Where's the killer instinct to put teams away? Where's the leadership? Because for all this talk about how these teams are desperate, and after the game, yeah, well, we knew they would be desperate coming into the game. That's what Trouba said after the Islander loss. Well, you're the captain. Aren't you supposed to, isn't part of your job to have the team be prepared? No, that doesn't matter anymore. And Laviolette doesn't get off the hook for me either. Like, the fact that Gustafsson was in this game, gross. The fact that Rempe is not playing, gross. Like, I'm sorry. And here's another tweet. I want to read this tweet from friend of the show, Zook, on the Rangers Ice Brew podcast. Go check them out. They're great. Because this tweet is so true. The New York Rangers players and coaches should be embarrassed that they are getting absolutely worked at home by a dog shit team, and the fans are chanting, "We want Rempe," because not a single other loser on this team has an ounce of heart. Couldn't have said it better perfectly. I couldn't have said it perfectly. That's well said. That is well said. The fact that your performance, the loudest chant in the building outside of the boos that we heard tonight, was "We want Rempe." That's sad. That's really sad. Because there was not a single player that showed an ounce of balls tonight to me. Like, is finishing a check in this team's dictionary at all? Because it seems like it's not. And the only time they play physical is when Trouba's running out of position to do so, like he was to start the third period. So, I don't know. But go ahead and shut me up on Saturday. Because Saturday, to me, like I said before this game, Saturday became even more of a game where it's a mandatory win. Like, unofficially a mandatory win. Because you lose to the Islanders, that is who you're playing round one. I just don't envision Carolina losing a game this year the rest of the way. I just don't. And they'll pass you in the standings, and that means you match up against them. And that would be the team if you lose to the Islanders on Saturday. That's who you're playing in round one, and they beat you the two most recent matchups. And I know regular season doesn't always correlate, but this late in the season, when there's a certain type of momentum right now swinging a certain way, I'm not entirely counting out the Rangers in that series, but it's hard to envision it going the way that I'd like it to. So I really don't even know. Like, I'm at a loss for words right now. I really am. I am trying to figure out what Jack Roslovic brings to the table, because it feels like I haven't seen it since dinosaurs were roaming the planet. Him forecheck, use that speed we raved about. Even just seeing in the intermission Steve Valiquette, the defeat on his face, and hearing him talk about the leadership group, because he knows. But he's holding back because he cannot say it because he works for them. But he knows. He feels the way we do. But also, this tweet from Blue Shirts Rep I want to read because it's so true, and I haven't looked at the comments yet, but I'm expecting people to be calling me negative about losing in game 80. But this comment that he had under a tweet is so true. Can't stand the people who say you're too negative. I'd give my left nut for this team to win a cup, but the way the team plays at this time, but the way the team plays at times with the mind-boggling lineups on the ice makes winning the cup seem impossible. Right there with you. I have a tattoo on my damn arm for nothing, though, right? Like, I want this team to lose. I'm negative for a reason, right? Totally do not want to be raving about my team. No, what I want, because I see people talk about this team wanting them to be underdogs. No, motherfuckers. I want to be what people view the Tampa Bay Lightning as. I want everybody to circle their damn calendar when we're on the schedule and say, this is not going to be an easy night, because this team, it has fucking heart, has balls, and will kick you in the damn ass. That's what I want. And we didn't see it tonight at the very least. The last two games, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about the last two games rolling into them. outside of Saturday, where I still feel it's a must win. Ottawa. I mean, if you lose to the Islanders on Saturday, just rest guys for the Ottawa game. Because I just don't see them winning the division at that point. I don't know how many times, too, I have to see the movie for people to understand where I'm coming from. I've seen it with the Mets. I've seen it with the Eagles this past year. Islanders win. Great. That's awesome. That's freaking great. I'm speechless right now. You got to feel for the second line, right? Like, they're the only line that actually is noticeable night in, night out, generating chances. You got to feel for them at some point. This first line, I don't know what to say anymore. The third line was doing cardio tonight. Being lazy too. Like, Cooley did not have a good game. Cooley had a terrible game, actually. Kakko too. And then Wenberg's lack of finishing ability is pissing me. It's pissing me off. I am like the only. No, I'm not even gonna say what I was gonna say. Not even gonna bother going down that road because there's no point of unleashing that rabbit out of the hat where we're hoping and praying for a magical number 72 to somehow save the franchise right now and return to the damn lineup. But I'm not even going to bother entertaining that because it's not happening. It's just not. I'm curious what some of the post-game quotes are. Like, I need to hear post-game quotes. Ooh, 23 seconds ago, right now. I just see laugh for MVP, bench captain Picasso. Jumping in on that too. Laviolette, let's see. About defending the rush tonight and their lack of offensive push. I don't think it's fair to talk about anybody tonight. I thought as a group, we were off the mark. Really? Huh. Couldn't tell. That's a nothing burger of a quote. Well, I don't have anything else to say. I did my ranting. I I still feel like you guys could probably tell right now that I'm bottling so much of this up. I'm like I'm on edge right now, ready to explode. Like I'm on edge, ready to explode, but I'm holding it in. I'm holding it in. I'm doing my best because I just cannot deal with this, and I don't want it to be screaming my head off. But I'm so close to it. I'm on the verge of it. This is just bad. Like I'm like shaking right now. Just getting ready to explode. I cannot, I'm telling you right now, could not wait to talk about the Knicks tonight. Sub the Knicks Central. You are going to see me in a way better mood. Actually, maybe not, because this is gonna linger over. Like I care more about the Rangers than the Knicks. Sadly, this thing's lingering over for me. But I'll tell you right now, I'll have a very good time watching Knicks playoff basketball. But you'll see a slightly happier me though. See a slightly happier me. Just talking about OG playing great defense, Brunson, you know, being an MVP night in, night out. The team having a sack of balls. I digress. Let's get to the chat. Leave a like, subscribe. I don't remember if I said it. Do all that, though. See what you guys have to say, though. Should be fun, right? No words. What angers me the most is seeing fans not care and say stop overreacting. Well, good for them. They could be in for a rude awakening come playoff time. And again, I hope that I'm wrong. I will be very happy to be wrong, and I will be very happy to admit that I was wrong. If you guys have been subbed to my channel long enough, you know that I admit when I'm wrong. But I am sorry. I still don't see why we continue to give them the benefit of the doubt when they got swept by Carolina in the bubble series, when they blew a 2-0 lead in the conference finals, and you could argue shouldn't have been in that conference finals with the way that Pittsburgh series went, and that they got embarrassed by a crosstown rival last year. And might happen again. And I might go insane. A lot of things that might happen. A lot of things that have happened. But no, you're right. Because we've seen the movie. We've seen the movie enough that it's the power play and goaltending. And they have not scored at 5v5 in 6 periods out. Is it more actually? Wait, when's the last time they scored a 5v5 goal? That actually makes me curious. Hang on a second. Montreal, I think they scored a 5v5 goal in the third, though, right? Could be wrong. Did they? Yeah, they did. Scored 2. So 6 periods without a 5v5 goal. It's not a winning recipe. It's just not. Do they want to win? Oh God. I'm just so close. I'm so close to exploding. I'm shaking. I can't even describe. Like, you guys could see my face turning red. I look like a tomato right now. Starting to really question Lavi's decisions. He says they aren't going to rest guys because they're shooting for 2 points each night, and yet Jones sits over Trouba and Gus and Brodzinski play. Or you're saying and Trouba and Gus, and then Brodzinski plays over Rempe. Yeah, I would go as far to say I'd rather see Roslovic scratch and put VC back on the top line because wait, what happened? That line scored at 5v5 when Roslovic wasn't there. They scored. Yeah, they did. Because Roslovic is just, oh God, he does cardio out there. I'm telling you, like I said last post game, Peloton, give him a ring. Give him a phone call. But yeah, that's the other thing too. Like, this team, they have talked to us at nauseum and they've vomited words at us, and we don't see the actions translate that, we want to win the division. We're trying for 2 points every night. We don't want to rest our starters. Well, where's the hunger for the 2 points? If you can't get hungry for 2 points, how are you getting hungry for a Stanley Cup? No killer instinct. These games matter, and this team is too busy looking for personal accolades. I don't care if Panarin hits 50 goals or Laffy hitting 30 or Kreider hitting 40. I agree with you, and Valley said it, and he's not wrong too, that just feels that way. Yep, Trouba and Miller were not good together. Actually, Trouba was a -2 because Schneider was on the ice for one of those goals. Yeah. Yeah, Dennis, if they play like this in the playoffs, it'll be an early exit. I wouldn't be surprised. And that's the thing. And that's where we're at this point, right? Like, we're at the point right now where this is our anger. Like, how sad is this to think about? Right now is our anger. Come playoff time, it's either we get a pleasant surprise and they turn on a switch and surprise us, or what we've been talking about for months and what we've expected for a bit now happens, and then we're just numb at that point because it's like, what is there to say? Like, we did the ranting. And I don't understand why guys aren't being held accountable. Seems like there's something about holding guys in leadership accountable that appears it's illegal apparently for this organization to do. But hey, I've been saying that since January. Actually, been saying that since last year, but or 2 years ago even. But no, I've been beating the drum at nauseum this year, even more so. And that too. I mean, they've Chad Ruedel too in the press box. Yep. Now at 2 games to go, everything is up for grabs. Presidents, Conference, Metro. When it looked like this team gave themselves a cushion to get it done, but they got complacent. Stop me if you've heard that before. They got complacent with a comfortable lead. Have you heard that before? Sure as hell we haven't, right? No, they haven't choked 2-0 series leads 2 years in a row, right? Surely not. Didn't realize the Rangers were resting guys tonight. Didn't see 20, 93, or 96 out there. That's a funny comment, RVA. And yeah, I'm sick of hearing how other teams are desperate as if they shouldn't be in a way since the Eastern Conference is slipping away from them. Yep. Yep. And now if they do win a round, they're probably going to have to go to Raleigh to start round 2. But hey, it's okay, right? It's okay because it's game 80 of the regular season, and they're first in the Metro. Crosby just hit 1,000 assists. Can't stand him, but good for him. I respect him, even though I am a Ranger fan. Can't stand him though, because he's always kicking their ass. But good for him. I don't really have much to say outside of that though. Cup contender, they said. First place, they said. Please, the group of players are pathetic. They are going to blow the division, and they will be lucky to beat the Islanders in the first round. And Matt, sure you have a receipt of that tweet that you put out saying that exact thing months ago. And Nico, I know for sure does. But hey, we're just idiots that do a podcast here, right? What do we know? But again, if we're wrong, very happy to be. Extremely happy to be. Well, as we discussed last game, if the Rangers give this effort again on Saturday when they should be fired up, I've lost hope for the playoffs. Either way, limping in the postseason equals quick out. You are correct, Brody. And that's even more why Saturday is a must win. an unofficial must win because now the Rangers have the responsibility of roping the fans back in because they heard the boos, right? Like I'd hope they heard the boos because fans aren't stupid, right? Like the fans that were booing, they booed for a reason. They know the deal like us. I'm sure somebody in the chat here was at the game tonight, part of those boos. We know what's up. And yeah, if they don't win on Saturday and they look dead like this, my excitement for the postseason will fade entirely. And the sucker I am is going to a couple of games. How exciting. How exciting is that I bought tickets because I am a lunatic. Not championship mindset. Yeah. To come out with that effort after Tuesday against a team that other teams are curb stomping is cause for concern. And that's the thing, Josh. Like, if people aren't full packing, like, you don't have to say that this team is going to be a first round exit. I will not disagree, and I won't say that you shouldn't say it because if you're saying it, listen, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be transparent. That is how I feel. That is how I feel at the current moment. But if you don't feel that way, fine. I'm not going to tell you how to be a fan. I'm not going to tell you how to be. You be you. And I'm not even going to tell you how to be with this. But I will say that I do think it's a little crazy if you're not at least concerned a bit. You're entitled to feel the way you do. But if you don't feel a bit concerned, more power to you, man. Like, more power to you. I wish. Welcome to social media, or I've heard it all year. Serious concerns. Trouba Miller pairing. 2, the first line. 3, no 5v5 play. 4, not showing up to the game on time. Laviolette's stubbornness to make roster changes. 6, Lindgren has not looked good. Don't disagree with one thing. And yeah, this too. Sorry to finish my thoughts on the other comment. You're not wrong about anything you said. And the audacity, I can't fucking talk right now. The audacity to compare Rosovic and Wennberg to Vetrano and Kopp. And I wasn't even a big fan of Kopp by the end of the way things went. Because I felt he was truly I felt he was truly a merchant of Panarin. But at least he was able to put the puck in the damn net when it's right in front of him and he's in front of the net because Wennberg just can't do that. Well, you pretty much listened to the Flyers broadcast if you listen to the Rangers one because Sam and Joe were basically doing the same thing, just talking about how great the Flyers played and how, it's great that they're playing with desperation. I'm sorry, but it's times like this, and I appreciate Sam and Joe, but it's times like this where they need to be critical at points. Like, come on. Sorry, I'm skipping through some of the comments just so I could catch up a little more. Listen, Michael, more power to you. And I'm not going to tell you to stop feeling positive because if you do, then that's how you feel. I can't control it, and I wish I could feel the same. Believe me, I do. And yeah, it is concerning that Laviolette doesn't seem pissed. My problem with the whole record argument since the All-Star break, Luke, is that, and I get that you could do this with other teams where you could pinpoint how, like goaltending bailed them out on certain nights, especially like, the Dallas game where they won at the Garden. Like that was goaltending. Like there are games you could pinpoint, and I get that you could do it with every team. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend they can't. But my problem with the record argument is that a lot of those wins came when they had Truba out of the lineup. And Truba, I'm going to be transparent with this too. Whether you like it or not, I am going to say it. Truba could genuinely make or break this team winning a Stanley Cup by himself. By himself. That's how much of a negative he is. And again, Miller had a bad night, but Truba, it's every single night with him. Every single night. Nicole. Nicole. Yeah. Yeah. I know. Believe me. Believe me. It just makes my blood boil even more. Said it all year. No identity and no leadership. I've agreed with you. Don't know how they don't play Rempe after last game. And this is it, too. That's all you hear. Every team's desperate. What do you think playoff hockey is? If they can't handle pressure, then they're done. Very good point, Anthony. You younger guys probably don't remember or weren't around, but that 94 team was much better than this team. I hear it from pretty much, I hear it from like 90% of fans that watched that 94 team. I don't think they play Tampa because I don't think they win the division at this rate, Jonathan. I don't. I really think they're going to fall to second at this point. And yeah, the Islanders have momentum. Not negative. You call it how it is. I do my best to do that. I'm right there with you, and I wish I could be more of the mouthpiece and scream right now, but I'm holding it in. Are they going to fall apart at the end? I don't know. It's trending towards that direction. Here we go. Let's see this because I am curious to see who could walk me off the ledge at all here because I don't know if it's even possible, to be honest. Have faith. Yes, they're stumbling right now, but we have to believe they could get a decent first round matchup. Maybe they'll be better off starting on the road. No. Sorry, but no. Nope. And they wouldn't start off on the road regardless. They clinched home ice. Unless you mean playing in round two. Well, they got to win round one first, and they're going to run into a red hot Islanders team. Our trades were a joke. They have produced nothing. Hmm. 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 $39 for Brunson. Love it. You guys kill me. You guys you guys make this so much easier for me. I appreciate it. I appreciate the laugh that some of you guys are giving. Like I've needed the laugh badly. Wedberg dressed tonight? Didn't think so. Yep, they're complacent the last few years. Yep. Dallas also, they're still first overall. Turned off the game and I'm watching. Yeah, I know that people are watching. What is it, the Frozen 4? The sucker I am is not. Instead, I'm here. I'm sorry, Richard, because I know you're a loyal viewer and you're here all the time. I cannot agree with this. I just can't. They talk to us ad nauseum about how they're starving for points. They're playing the starters. They care. Or I'm saying they are trying to win, quote unquote. I don't know how to even phrase this to sound right, but they tell us that they want the 2 points every night. That's all I can say. I don't buy it. I don't buy the whole they're playing possum thing. I don't. Edstrom should be in the lineup too. Edstrom should absolutely be in the lineup. Yeah, Rob. And that's what we were raving about with this team in October and November, right? Is that they would take leads and defend it. And that's why I was so high on this team early in the year. Because for the first time in what felt like a damn eternity, they were playing hockey the way that I've been dying for them to play. And then we saw it fizzle out. We saw it come back for a bit in March, and now it's fizzling out again. Yes, Keenan benched Brian Leach and traded him through the New York Post for Chris Chelios. But Jacob Trouba, for whatever reason, cannot sit. And for some reason, Chris Kreider cannot sit. Mika Zibanejad could not sit. Adam Fox, he's been solid all year. Do not like what he did on that fourth goal. He can't sit for some reason either. Jim, I know you're a Penguins fan. I gotta be honest with you. I don't even have my mind on Pittsburgh anymore. I really don't. Like, I am so down in the dumps right now that I cannot answer this question. If they did play Pittsburgh, you're gonna have to ask me at the end of the season how I think that would go. Because Saturday to me will tell me all I need to know. Richard, I want to, but it's just hard to when I've seen it over and over and over and over and over and over times 1,000 again. Whether it's the Mets, whether it's the Eagles of this past year, whether it's this team itself with the same group of players. And it's a broken record. And you cannot play every single game from behind in the playoffs. That is correct. I don't really know if I have any other words to say. Yes. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. Does any viewers want to come on the stream here at all? Because I am very curious to hear what you guys have to say. If any viewers want to come on the stream, I could put the link in. Been a Ranger fan for 50 years. This team has very little heart compared to other top Ranger teams. I would agree. What do we do if this team's out in the first round? What we do is hope for change. What management does, no clue. No clue. But I'm not there yet. But it's sad that we might be there soon. All right. I'm going to put the link in the chat if you guys want to join the stream. So I could hear viewer thoughts. As long as you're stream appropriate. Otherwise, I will have to kick you and you will not be allowed on streams ever again. So, yeah. Meet the new boss. Same as the old boss, zero accountability. Yeah. Hope for a new core, or at least dumping Goudreau and Trouba, hoping for some reverses to help, like Othman. Yeah. All right. We got people in the waiting room. Let's bring them in. Matt, core, or at least dumping Goudreau and Trouba, hoping for some. One of you have the stream on in the back. If you could just mute it so it doesn't echo, I'd appreciate that. But we got people in the waiting room. Let's bring them in. Matt. I'm not sure who that is.
Yeah, that's not me. I have YouTube turned off.
All right. I think it's good now. All right. Go ahead. Vent. Whoever wants to start, go ahead and vent. We can't hear you, Nick, at all.
Oh, I'm sorry. What do I got to do?
It's good now.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I didn't say anything. That's why. It was a pathetic effort, like you said tonight. I was just waiting for your stream tonight to see what you were going to say, because it was just a horrible effort at home, and you can't do that, especially after losing the other night to the Islanders on the island, and they're giving up goals at the end of periods like they did last year. They weren't doing that much during this season, in the beginning and the middle of the season, but now they're doing that again. They're falling into those old patterns, giving away pucks in the defensive zone. And, and I really think something's got to be up with Igor. And I'm going to say it. I don't think he is Igor as much as he was the previous years. I just think giving up 3 goals the other night and quick tonight giving up 4. I don't know. I mean, they got it. I understand the defense got to do its job, but the goalie's there for a reason. Got to stop the pucks. I mean, that's it. I mean, I don't want to be Captain Obvious here, but I said everything that I saw in the chat about them being complacent. They've been complacent for the last 3 or 4 years. Okay, they had the chances to win the division, to get in there, to get in the playoffs on a strong note. They didn't. They're like, we're in the playoffs. All right, let's tank the last couple of games. Can't do that. You can't chug towards the finish line. You gotta get there. You gotta get your moxie up, and that's it. I mean, and then may the best team win in the rounds. I mean, look at Boston last year. 65 wins, they go out in the first round. Someone's going to go out in the first round. You know, when they finish first, it's sad, but that's the way the playoffs are. But if the Rangers gave an effort the other night and an effort tonight, and maybe got to overtime with both games, because you got two teams that are desperate to win, and you get there and you play with the same intensity as they did, and you get maybe 1 point the other night, 1 point tonight, okay, that's fine, because you're playing guys that are desperate. But these last two games, the Islanders and the Flyers look like Stanley Cup contenders, and we look like we would, it's the complacency of the team every year. What I've seen the last couple of years when they started making the playoffs again. So that's what I see. But everything that you've been saying tonight, I agree with everything you've been saying. I hope you're wrong too, but I don't feel it right now. I don't even think I want to watch the game Saturday.
I'm right there with you right now. Like I could agree more with everything you said. Like the only thing with Igor, I agree with you on that. Like, the high glove thing, we talk about that ad nauseum, but
they have to do that. They have to. What is Benoit Allaire doing about his high glove side? There's got to be an adjustment to that.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
He looks like a scared rabbit with that. When it's like he puts his glove up and then the puck is already in the net. Got to be a little bit more of an offensive goaltender. I mean, I thought that Henrik was more like that. He played the puck more. Guys like Jacobin played the puck more, but different eras, different goalies. Rick did the same thing. I mean, you're going to get goals past you. That's just the way it is. You're going to give them up, but you got to make an effort. I mean, Quick didn't look like himself tonight.
No, he definitely didn't. And like I do question if some of it is mental, like just knowing that the team in front of them is just playing this poor. Like at some point, it's got to be taking a mental toll that like I'm bailing these guys out night in and night out. When are they going to return the damn favor? And it just never happens. Quality chance after quality chance every single night. And like you mentioned before, too complacent. And the point that you made about Boston couldn't be any more true also, that like, how many teams have we seen? Tampa Bay, when they won the President's Trophy, they cruised into the playoffs and other teams were ready because they were complacent.
Well, see, I don't see about the thing about President's Trophy being a curse.
Nope.
I mean, go all the way. Go all the way. I mean, win it, get the division, get the conference, get the President's Trophy. If it's within your grasp, you go after it. That's it. I mean, control your own destiny. The Rangers in the past couple of years controlled their own destinies and just didn't want it. I just don't see it. I mean, you don't need to bail this team out, Evan. I mean, you got to speak your mind. I mean, I said it tonight too. They lose Saturday, they're not going to do well in the playoffs. That's it. I mean, against the heated rival, you got to get up for these things. You got to get up for these plays. And what excuses are we going to get? They didn't get it done. How many times have we heard that excuse in the past? How many years when they were in the playoffs? Ryan McDonough was saying it. Ryan Callahan was saying it. And then they go to other teams and win Stanley Cups because they go to hungrier teams. That's why. That's what I see. They go to hungrier teams. McDonough, he was 27 years old. The Rangers let him go. Oh, well, he gets hurt. Well, everybody gets hurt. But he goes, where do he go, to Tampa? And yeah. Stepan, where did he go? Stepan goes to Pittsburgh, wins a Stanley Cup.
No, that was Hagelin.
On Hagelin, yeah.
I'm sorry, I said Stepan or Hagelin.
Sorry, Hagelin. I messed up too. Hagelin, yeah.
Hagelin. You're right. Hagelin. That's right. You're right. It's Hagelin.
Yeah, and like JT Miller goes off. He's starting to tear it up. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with Vancouver, but you're not wrong. Like, there's a reason.
He should have been on the ice tonight and the other night.
What was that?
No freaking physicality now on his team.
Oh, yeah,
no.
I want your guys' thoughts on the trade deadline. I want your guys' thoughts because I've seen it all night in the chat about Wenberg, Roslovic not doing much. Do you guys feel still that they should have just bit the bullet on a guy like Gensel, or they should have just like they had to do more at the deadline?
I
know your answer, Matt. Well, yeah, I know your answer. I'm curious about the other.
Matt, take it away.
I thought at the time they should have given. I thought at the time they should have given whatever they needed to get Gensel. I think obviously we're past it now, and I try not to think about it, but at the time and now, I still believe that was the guy you had to go and get, and they didn't get him.
I agree. Still.
I agree to a certain point. I think because I know a lot of people fucking yell at me at Twitter whenever I bring up that they missed out on getting Gensel, and they said, "Oh, but Dubas really wanted Perot." Well, first of all, I don't believe that that's true because according to multiple credible people in the media, the Rangers and the Penguins had deep talks for Gensel, and if Dubas only wanted Perot, then there was no way trade talks would have even gotten off the ground at that point. So they would have been willing to take a smaller package, whether that be starting with a Kakko or Brendan Hoffman and a first-round pick. So I don't believe the excuse that they wanted Perot at all. I don't buy that.
No.
I thought when they got Wenberg and Roslovic, I thought that I saw some depth on the team when they first got here. I just don't know what happened. I mean, this team is imploding in front of our very eyes. Again.
Yeah, and the only counter argument I could see from people that didn't want Gensel or that thought it was too hefty is that like this yet again is lying on the core because Mika and Kreider not getting it done 5v5. Again, you have, like there's, again, the fourth goal by Adam Fox just pisses me off, but he's been solid most of the season. Trouba's just been a joke. Trouba's a joke of a captain. Like, I don't think we even need to go down that rabbit hole, but it's just leadership complacent yet again. And that's what I said in January too would be this team's downfall if they're going to have one, is that themselves. It's always themselves.
It's not a surprise when we look at the mentality of the team. I mean, usually for teams, the mentality fosters down from the leadership group and the captain. Well, I'm sorry, but Jacob Trouba is one of the biggest pussies in hockey. This guy has absolutely no balls. And you know what? It's even more of a concern that this front office thought it was a good idea to give Jacob Trouba the captaincy, especially when he was the sole reason why they lost Game 3 and started that class versus Tampa. That's the guy who you want as captain. That guy who single-handedly had a meltdown in Game 3 because he couldn't handle the pressure. But no, he gets an excuse because he threw a fucking helmet. Please. One of the worst fucking defensemen in the league and arguably has the worst contract in the league as well.
Could have said better.
You're talking about Trouba against Chicago, right?
Yeah, just him as a captain.
Okay. Well, I remember that game. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. I think they should have given the C to Kreider, but he didn't want it. I think he was. I mean, he's going to have his nights, but I think he would have been a better leader.
I think Kreider does his disappearing act too much to be captain too, though.
Yeah.
You think so, Matt? Really?
No, that was me.
Yeah, it was a look. That's it.
I don't see a true leader on the team at all.
I'm with you on that.
I agree.
I'm sure the players think that Jacob Trouba has a great voice in the locker room, but on the ice, he's not a leader at all.
Yeah, and even if he does have a good voice in the locker room,
that's what you have a coach for, to be a voice in the locker room. That's
right.
Exactly. Like even if Trouba does have a good voice in these players' eyes, it doesn't always translate to the ice, like you just said. Like,
right,
it doesn't always matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even have anything else to say with this. I'm just fed up. It's Saturday. Like you guys have been saying, if they don't wake up for Saturday,
that's a nationally televised game on Saturday?
Yep, yeah. 12:30.
12:30, Channel 7, ABC.
Yep, ABC.
That's going to be fun. Be 3 hours worth of commercial.
My expectations are an all-time low right now.
I don't have any. I really just am to the point of, I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised. I've seen this team do this before. I don't know. People want to talk about the '94 team. That's a completely different era. That's a completely different team, completely different coach. That was then. I mean, and maybe 2014, 2015, we had our chances. We won the President's Trophy that year. We finished overall good, but you're losing 7 to Tampa that year. They laid an egg in Game 7 at the Garden. I remember it. After winning 7-3 in Game 6 in Tampa.
Yep. And
I don't know.
and then last year too, like they won Game 6. What was it, 5-2, and then get shut out in Game 7. Oh my God.
Well, see that the thing with that series is they were up 2-0, then they go down 3-2, then they come home and they tie it. I mean, should they have taken them in 4? Yeah, that's probably what we all would have wanted. But when it goes to Game 7, it's anybody's series. I mean, the Rangers could have shown up in Jersey and just trounced their asses, and they just didn't do it. Never mind, it goes 7. Goes 7, it goes 7. And you gotta see best team wins when it goes 7 games. Doesn't matter.
Yep.
Goes 7 games. Win 7 games in '94. I mean, someone said at the chat before it was the Cardiac Rangers in '94. They had a 3-1 lead against Vancouver. Now maybe that series didn't have the business to go 7 games, but it didn't come easy in '94. It didn't.
Yeah, and it won't come at all now. That's the thing that sucks. But I'm not going to spend too much longer talking about this unless any of you guys have final words to say. I'm going to wrap up the stream after.
I do have one little tangent I want to talk about. This stretches farther than the past 2 games. Something I noticed is that ever since Rempe got the call up, we've never been a truly physical team, but none of the guys who you thought, they kind of are little gritty, physical, throw hits, have not been doing any of it other than Rempe since he got called up. When was the last time a guy like Trouba threw a massive hit trying to sway momentum other than the 3rd period tonight where he ran out of position to do so? Even Cooley's physical presence has kind of taken a step down. I don't get why you bring a guy like Rempe with so much energy and physicality that somehow takes it away from the other guys. I feel like that should lift them up even more.
Yeah.
And that's why I've been saying that if the rumor's true about Ottawa potentially putting Tkachuk on the block this offseason, this team needs to do everything in their power to bring him here. That couldn't be any more of the fit that they need.
No, he's too talented. You can't have that.
Yeah, my fault. But does anyone else have final words to say at all? Nope. All right.
Just want the team to go all the way. That's all. But Evan, thanks for having us on the chat, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate everyone that did. Thank you, everyone that tuned into the live stream. I do appreciate that. Leave a like on your way out if you haven't. Subscribe if you guys are new. And let's hope that Saturday will be different. See you guys then.
We only hope.
See you
Have a good night,
Saturday.
Evan. Good night, everybody.